Greetings to you all and welcome, dear learners, to this lesson on the curriculum vitae, how to draft a CV. Remember that a CV is a detailed document outlining an individual's background, qualifications, work experience, and skills. It is most commonly used to accompany job applications or applications for awards. While employers may require a job seeker to fill out an application form or provide a written explanation of their suitability for a role, they will often also request a CV. In some parts of the world, such as the United States, this document is referred to as a resume. And the key difference between a CV and a resume is the length. A CV is generally longer, providing a comprehensive overview of one's professional history, while a resume is usually more concise and often limited to 1 or 2 pages. So, while CVs and resumes are important tools in job applications, employers rarely rely solely on the information presented in these documents when making hiring decisions. Other factors such as interpersonal relationships, behavior, and practical skills often play a more significant role in the selection process. In today's information age, it is increasingly difficult to possess a unique qualification or skill that others do not already have. So, regardless therefore of whether you are using a CV or resume, here is a general structure that outlines the essential elements. Like we said already, remember that your CV is to help you have a job. We have already said that there is hardly going to be a qualification that you will have which will guarantee a job for you. It will be difficult for you to have that. So there are many factors that comes into play. So in your CV, you should talk so much of what you can do, which means the skills you have, and how doing what you can do will help the institution to which you are applying. Identify a problem they have or a problem they will have. Tell them how you are going to solve that problem. Tell them you have the skills to solve that problem and explain to them how you will solve the problem. That should be what you should be saying in your CV. So talk about your skills and how your skills align with the objectives of the institution. How is it going to help the institution grow? Let us see a general overview of a CV. So generally, on your CV, you're going to have the first component number 1, which is your name and your contact details. Name and contact details. In this place, you put just your name, your address, your telephone number, and your email address. That 4 is okay there. Don't clutter your introduction with a lot of personal information there. It may not be necessary. Okay, it occupy a lot of space. So just your name, your address, your telephone number, and your email address is okay. Then you have your personal profile. This is where the crook of the matter lies. Your personal profile is a brief summary of your experience, your skills, and your personal qualities. This is where you should tell the institution what you can do and how doing what you can do will help the institution. That is your personal profile. That is what most employers will read. The next component of your CV is your key achievements. Take note, key achievements. So it should be a bullet point list of things you have achieved, especially those relevant to the job you are applying for. So let us see how these achievements can look like. So you see, we're talking of successfully organized an annual, developed a new, implemented a digital filing system. So you talk about what you can call achievements. You're not just going to say, I did this, I did. No, not just things you did. We are not going to say organized an annual corporate retreat. No, we're going to say successfully organized. So what you consider as achievements, bullet points, and it should not be too much. Remember, for all administrative documents, always look for a way to do it in few words. The fourth point, the fourth component of your CV is your employment history. Also remember that you should list your employment history in reverse chronological order. So you begin with the most recent, include the position details and the dates. So I have my position, administrative assistant, Clarksoft Corporation, Yaoundé, Cameroon, date from June 2020 to date. So here are the details of my position. After that, the next point or the fifth component is known as your academic or other relevant qualifications. Your academic or other relevant qualifications. So you want to say your academic qualifications or other qualifications. Here you're going to put certificates and your accreditations or your certifications that you have to practice. In my case, I'm a certified administrative assistant and I have a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. So we are going to include this in our CV. Again, be as brief as possible. If you have a degree, it serves no purpose saying you have first school, you have O levels, you have A levels. It serves no purpose. If you have a PhD, there's no need for you to tell us you had a degree. There's no need telling us again about your A levels because you must have A levels and your degree before having a PhD. So you realize that you state just the highest qualification. To ensure that you gain space, you don't clutter your CV with the same information. If you have an A levels, there is no need to say you have first O levels or first school. So you realize what is most important is your highest qualification. And why is it your highest qualification that is important? Because that is what is relevant. If I say I have a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, you obviously know that I had an A levels. You obviously know that before having A levels, I had O levels. So there is no need for me to highlight these again. Now, I've included now my certification. I'm a certified administrative assistant. So these are details that we have to include. Then thereafter, we can now include personal details like your date of birth, your place of birth, and your citizenship or your sex. Then you can include membership of professional bodies and many other things. But always tailor your CV. Always tailor your CV to meet the specific requirements of a particular job or position for which you are applying. And your CV should draw attention to strengths and positive factors, but it must not include inaccurate or untrue information or unrealistic claims. These days, I'll share a small story with you because these days, people, by the time they are writing CVs, it's possible that you can meet a professional to draft a very good CV for you. But what I think is that you will hardly have a winning CV that will cut across. That means you hardly have a CV that's perfect that will enable you to have a job. So you have to always take into consideration relationships. Who do you know who knows who? How well do they even know you? Because what you have written may be true, may not be true. So you have to be aware that other factors will affect whether you will affect the chances, your chances of retaining the job. So always create your CV for each job application and highlight relevant experience, skills, and achievements that match the specific job description. Always be clear and professional and concise. Focus on your achievements, not just duties. When describing past roles, emphasize your accomplishments rather than just listing job responsibilities. So you need to use quantifiable results. For example, increased sales by 20%. So this demonstrates your impact. And a good CV does not guarantee you will have a job. It is true that a well-drafted CV is essential, but it is important to remember that many applicants and limited openings, a strong CV alone is not a guarantee for landing a job. Networking, interview preparation, and building a strong professional relationship is important in having a job. Your CVs should contain little or no errors. Always read and correct your CV so that there are no errors there. Thank you very much, and we encourage you to practice drafting often and improve your drafting skills. Thank you for watching.